Welcome to Prana Yoga. Today we're going to demonstrate shoulder stand, Salamba, Savangasana, and Plow pose, Halasana. We're going to give you a couple of variations and to be mindful that in a shoulder stand, one of the most important things is that the head does not turn from side to side once you're in the posture. We'll be able to wiggle through the shoulders. We'll demonstrate that. And the strength of the legs, once again, from our series that we've been doing, strength of the abdomen and the legs. Some areas that might be tight are, of course, the shoulders and the neck. So we're starting out today, and this is kind of a nice way to start out for a little bit of a restorative posture. We have two blankets folded underneath the torso, underneath the chest. The head and the shoulders are off and on the floor, and so the shoulders and the neck is being supported by the rolled edge of the blanket. Her hips are now on the ground, so it gives a nice opening to the chest. And just a few breaths here. We're going to take a block and bring it over and place it underneath the hips and the sacrum. So that is what we call a launching pad for the pelvis. And we're going to do a few mindful preps by we can do it with one leg at a time, bending one knee, foot flat onto the ground, and practice just lifting the hips up. Reaching through that leg, yes, and letting the arms press into the blankets. She's taking the arms behind her back. She could possibly interlace them just for a couple of moments to stretch them and open them. And then lower that side down, and we'll switch legs. And when we raise the hips up and the legs up, bringing emphasis, where's the weight on that upper arm bone? Do you come into your elbows or up into the upper arm? And trying to get wherever you land mostly on there is, can you get the full length, the full fulcrum of the arm bone onto the ground? So to open the chest and the shoulders, head of the arm bone down, extends the neck. Good. And then lower down. Good. And then she can come up with both legs. Using the block, as I said, it becomes the launching pad. So you raise the hips up. Now the hands can come onto the hips for a second and just help give some lift to the hips and some forward movement. She can come high onto her tiptoes like she's doing, keeping even the knees bent to create that sensation of the hips over the shoulders. And lots of the benefits of the shoulder stand is for the thyroid, the neck, the thymus, the heart, known to be a very calming posture. Good. And then the elbows, you can rock side to side to tuck one elbow in and then the other. The hands eventually walk down the back, down towards the shoulder blades, and that helps to open up the chest a little bit more. And then both legs, she can try to take them both legs up towards the ceiling. And then again, what happens in this posture is that the feet will go over the face. So Carrie, if you can demonstrate that, take your feet towards your face or over your head. Because we don't have a lot of strength in our hips, stop right there. Don't even go that far, go back up. There we go. So this may be somebody's typical looking shoulder stand. And you can see the sacrum and the pelvis have got to come forward. So if she brings that forward again with her hands, the legs will go straight up. But as she starts to bend from the hinge of the hips and take her feet over her head, then she's working right into Halasana or the plow pose. Feet go overhead. Ultimately, Hands can interlace, as you see. She has them interlaced behind her back. And just working on bringing the heels of her hands together, not squeezing in the rhomboids, that muscle in between the shoulder blades, but keep feeling the ridge of the collarbones and the top edge, or the top long edge of the shoulder blade that creates the shelf or the hanger effect for the shoulders. Really opening them up. Toes are pressing and the back of the thighs. So the energy is that the hamstring on the back of the leg is going up towards the ceiling, creating some space. You can play a little bit with lifting the chin away from the chest to give a little more extension, and then the chest will start to follow the chin. Beautiful. One more variation. I'm going to sneak this one in on her. If you are so inclined, you bend the knees and you take the knees down by your ears. Good. Just a little variation for that, but it takes us deeper inward, and then you can extend the legs. This can be very compressing on the breath, but it also takes us inward, and within the boundary of the body is finding the fullness of your breath. There's some great space and dimensions that can be felt in this posture. And then go ahead and take one leg up, and then the other. Hands back onto the back, the pelvis, the shoulders, and exhale to lower down. And take a few moments to rest. Laying on the blankets to let the chest open, the hips to drop, let the legs find neutral. There's one variation that we can demonstrate here, and by that she's going to bend her knees, roll over onto one side, and place her head towards the wall, still using the blankets. So when we don't have the abdominal strength, or the leg strength, or that everything feels like it's compressing towards those shoulders, the wall in this way is a good prop. So once again, you can see that her shoulders are placed evenly with the rolled edge of the blanket. Head is on the ground, so it keeps that space between the neck and the shoulders. And you can use a launching pad here once again. Good. Hips up. Good. And then see if you can rock your feet just towards the wall. And then from there you can practice walking your feet up the wall. Yep. Good. The hands can come onto the hip or the shoulders or the rib cage once again, wherever they feel comfortable. And as you draw the elbows in closer to one another, it will help to pry the other end of that arm bone out from the socket, really widening. Good. And then you can also walk your feet down the wall and do a little bit of a Halasana in this way. She's going ahead and taking her knees down by the ears. She might be a little bit too close to the wall, but if the legs were straight, then she'd be in that flat area of her legs. Good. Maybe straighten your legs a little bit, Carrie. There you go. And that might be what your pose looks like, that we're not able to get the hips over the shoulders, but this is enough. Walk your feet up a little bit higher, Carrie, as you do that, and straighten the legs. Maybe about right there where your left leg is, I think. Yeah, down a little bit. Good. And then move your hips away from the wall once again and straighten the legs. That's it. So just getting that kind of work, that kind of feeling what challenges the breath in this way. Good. And then as you feel ready, go ahead and lower down. Very gently to let the hips come down. Don't let the chest and head fly up. This is great abdominal strength. Excellent. The chest lays open on the blankets. Once again, it's always nice to open the chest after a shoulder stand. And as you lie and breathe, you feel the effects and the benefits of the posture. Namaste.